Hey everyone, my name is Daniel, and what I'm about to share is unlike anything I've ever experienced. A few weeks ago, I had a near-death experience that felt like a spiritual mission. During this time, Jesus appeared to me and gave me a startling message. The Epstein files will be released by Trump. At first, I couldn't believe it. It sounded like something out of a conspiracy theory. But Jesus was clear, calm, and authoritative. He showed me scenes of hidden truths, dark secrets buried deep in powerful circles, and a coming moment of exposure that would shake the world. This message wasn't just about scandal or politics. It was about justice, accountability, and the triumph of truth over darkness. Jesus explained that the release of these files would be a pivotal moment for the nation and the world. I want to share with you everything I saw, heard, and felt during this experience. It's a message of hope, warning, and divine justice. If you're ready, I'll take you through this journey part by part. Picking up from where we left off, Jesus began to show me the gravity of what the Epstein files represent. He revealed to me a hidden network of corruption, exploitation, and sin that had been carefully concealed for years. The files contain truths that many powerful people desperately want to keep hidden, but Jesus made it clear that nothing stays buried forever. He told me that Trump, despite all the controversy surrounding him, has been entrusted with the role of exposing these dark secrets. It's not about politics or personal vendettas, but about justice being served on a grand scale. Jesus said, "The truth will shine light into the darkest corners." I saw visions of the files being released, documents, testimonies, and evidence flooding the public eye, causing shockwaves across governments, industries, and social circles. This exposure would bring accountability and healing to victims long silenced. Jesus emphasized the spiritual battle behind these events. This isn't just a human conflict. It's a war between light and darkness, and the release of these files is part of God's plan to bring justice and restoration. And he also warned that the road won't be easy. There will be resistance, deception, and attempts to discredit the truth. But Jesus assured me that the final victory belongs to the light. This part of the vision left me both awestruck and hopeful. The weight of what's coming is immense, but so is the power of truth and justice. As the vision unfolded, Jesus took me deeper into the spiritual significance of this revelation. He explained that the Epstein files are more than just legal documents. They represent the exposure of spiritual darkness that has long thrived in secrecy. Jesus showed me how this darkness has corrupted institutions, deceived many, and caused untold suffering. But with the files' release, the light of truth will begin to purify and cleanse, shaking the foundations of lies and manipulation. I saw glimpses of the victims, those who had been silenced, abused, and betrayed, and the healing that will come as their stories are finally heard and validated. Jesus said, "Their voices will no longer be ignored. Justice is coming." There was also a sense of urgency. Jesus told me that timing is critical. The release will coincide with a turning point for the nation's spiritual awakening. It's a call for repentance, accountability, and transformation. Despite the heaviness of this message, Jesus gave me hope. He reminded me that light always overcomes darkness and that the truth, once revealed, sets captives free. This part of the vision was intense and sobering, but filled with divine purpose. In this part of the vision, Jesus showed me the human side of this revelation, the people involved, the fear and desperation of those trying to keep the truth hidden. I saw powerful figures scrambling, trying to cover tracks and silence whistleblowers. But Jesus reassured me that their efforts would fail. No conspiracy can withstand the power of truth and divine justice, he said. He also showed me Trump's role, not as a perfect man, but as a key player in God's plan to bring these secrets into the light. Trump's mission, Jesus explained, is one of accountability and justice, a difficult path that requires courage and faith. I saw moments of tension, strategic moves, and spiritual warfare playing out behind the scenes. The battle is real, but so is the protection and guidance from heaven. Jesus emphasized that this exposure is part of a greater spiritual awakening, one that calls people to repentance and renewal. I was reminded that this is not about politics, but about God's justice prevailing. This part gave me insight into the complexity of what's coming and the divine orchestration behind it. As the vision progressed, Jesus showed me the aftermath of the file's release. The world would be shaken. Trust in institutions, governments, and elites would be tested as hidden truths surfaced. Chaos might ensue, but it is part of the cleansing process necessary for renewal. Jesus said, "From the ashes of revelation, a new era will dawn. One of accountability, healing, and righteousness." I saw people awakening spiritually, questioning falsehoods, and seeking genuine truth. He urged me to remind people not to lose hope or fall into despair during this turbulent time. Instead, to lean into faith, prayer, and the pursuit of justice grounded in mercy. Jesus also highlighted the importance of forgiveness and restoration after justice is served. True healing requires both exposing darkness and extending grace to the repentant. I felt the weight of this message deeply. It's a time of reckoning, but also of unprecedented opportunity for transformation. This part was sobering, yet filled with hope and divine purpose. This part of the vision showed me the ripple effect beyond politics and headlines, the spiritual awakening that would follow the exposure of these hidden evils. Jesus revealed how hearts would be stirred, some turning away in fear or denial, but many opening to truth and repentance. He said, "The release of these files is a divine catalyst, a moment that will awaken souls to the reality of good and evil, calling them to choose light over darkness." I saw scenes of people praying fervently, churches filling with seekers hungry for truth, and communities rallying around justice and healing. But Jesus also showed me the dangers, false prophets and deception attempting to confuse and divide further. He warned that discernment and prayer would be critical in navigating the coming times. Despite the challenges, the overall message was one of hope and renewal. The exposure isn't the end, but a powerful beginning of spiritual revival. Jesus called on believers to stand firm in faith, to be beacons of truth and love amidst chaos. This part of the vision filled me with a sense of purpose and urgency, to prepare, to pray, and to help others find hope in God's plan. In this part of the vision, Jesus spoke directly about the importance of spiritual readiness and unity among believers during this tumultuous time. He emphasized that the release of the Epstein files would act as a major wake-up call, forcing many to confront uncomfortable truths, not just about people, but about their own hearts and choices. He said, "You must be strong and united. Stand firm in love and truth. Do not let fear or anger divide you further." I saw believers coming together, praying, supporting one another, and holding fast to the hope found in me. Jesus also warned about the enemy's tactics to sow confusion and division through misinformation and deceit. He urged vigilance, wisdom, and continuous prayer. This part of the vision inspired me to encourage unity and peace, reminding everyone that the spiritual battle requires love and discernment, not hatred and suspicion. He called believers to be ambassadors of hope, shining light in dark places and walking boldly in faith. It was a call to spiritual maturity and perseverance amid the storm. The final part of the vision was filled with overwhelming hope and assurance. Jesus showed me a future where truth triumphs, justice prevails, and healing begins, not just politically, but spiritually and nationally. He said, "Though the battle is fierce, my light will never be overcome. Those who stand firm in faith and love will see restoration and peace." I saw communities coming together, reconciled and renewed, united not by politics, but by a shared commitment to truth and grace. Jesus called on all believers to be vessels of this hope, to pray without ceasing, and to live boldly for justice and mercy. This vision gave me courage and a mission to spread this message of truth, hope, and divine justice. Thank you for listening. May this testimony inspire you to trust in God's plan and to stand firm in faith no matter the storms ahead.